We are smashing through the Mk5 GTIs and we're now going to start work on the Mk5 GTIs? What am I talking about? Right, we are smashing through the Mk5 Golfs and next up is the Mk5 GTI. So here she is, parked lovely next to the R32, which I've just finished, and I've left myself absolutely no room to get in here. This does run, although a lot of things are missing on it, no coolant, etc. Coolant pipe's broken. However, it does run just for entering into workshop purposes. It is very hot in here. Oh no. There we go, it's working now. Right, I'm gonna have to put the camera down because I want to get in quick and I'm holding it. Run it for us. Basically, I have quite a lot to do actually to get this so we can road test it. I mean, look, I've got bolts, banjo bolts, you name it, everything across the top. So down the turbo, I've got coolant lines in and out of the turbo to attach. I have my coolant pipe here, which is broke, which is the whole reason I couldn't attach the coolant lines. We're replacing that. I've also got a breather pipe that I broke from somewhere. I can't remember where it is now. No idea, but I've got to replace that as well. And then I'm sure I haven't worked on this for a few weeks, so I'm sure there's some other bits I need to do. But anyway, the aim of this video is to fully get the Mk5 GTI. Oh, there you go. That's what I broke. Don't know where it leads to. Can't remember. But yeah, the aim of today's video is to get the Mk5 GTI fully roadworthy and in a state where we can take it down the road for the first time, and hopefully she is good, because obviously if you haven't watched this Mk5 GTI series before, I bought it as a non-runner and had to replace the cylinder head because it seized. Click in the top right hand corner. Yeah, so under here I've got exhaust bracket to put on there. I think I've got one bolt left to put on the downpipe. I've got to connect the exhaust up here. Turbo, I think I've actually done everything bar the coolant outlet pipe, which is this one here. So I've just got to attach that. I do need to go around and check all my O-rings and stuff are tight, the connections are tight, because I can't remember, so it's best to just double check. I've got an intercooler hard pipe from here to the turbo up there. I've got a few other bolts there that are missing. I might have to replace the DV at some point. There's no reason that I've got to replace it, I just probably best practice because they are common. But we'll just leave it for the moment. What else we've got to do? I think that's pretty much it downstairs. Yeah, I didn't take anything else off. So, and I've got a hard pipe here as well, actually. Hard pipe here I've got to take off. So yeah, I've got a little bit of work to do. So I thought I'd do something different here and just do a voice overlap of exactly what I'm doing. It's just a bit difficult to see on the time lapse, but I'm fitting my turbo inlet and outlet coolant hose lines, which is quite fiddly to fit. I'm also fitting my crank pulley to the side of the engine as well. And as you can see there, I've got my hard boost pipe going from the turbo to the intercooler, fixing all that in position as well. And then we're going to move around to the top of the engine where I'm going to try and fit my hard pipe that's going from the other side of the intercooler into my inlet manifold, and that is quite a fiddly fit. And as you can see, struggling to fit my arms down there. And then we move on to the side of the engine where I've got my coolant hose flange, which I'm replacing, and that is the whole reason I couldn't build up the coolant system because of that little pipe that was broken, and also plugging into the side of the block. Right, I thought I'd try something different with the time lapse on that and just talk over it. I hope that was better. Not too sure. But anyway, you'd have obviously known what I've just done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some water in just to get that circulating, to make sure I haven't left any hoses off or any bolt, like banjo bolts loose or anything like that. So I just want to eliminate that before I start adding antifreeze, because yeah, I'd rather water go everywhere than antifreeze. So yeah, so still quite a lot. I haven't even put the alternator back on either. But yeah, battery back on. So I still haven't connected the back box, so it is still going to be a little bit louder than it normally would. But for the most part, should run okay and circulate some coolant. So I'll just monitor that for the minute. Yeah, Yeah, so it had some water leaking, and I knew there would be. It's the whole reason I put water in, and I knew exactly what bolt it would be. It was leaking as well. Now, I've just had to remove the turbo support bracket to actually get to it, but it's the, I don't know if you're gonna, how to show you. I don't know how to manually, where's my finger? That bolt there, tip of my fingertip, it is the coolant in, which is, as you can see, very, very difficult to get to. It's an 8mm Allen key socket. It's just behind the exhaust manifold. Absolute arse to get to. And yeah, I thought I nipped it up enough, but apparently I hadn't. But I've just managed to, yeah, as I say, remove the turbo support bracket, get in there. I have no idea how I managed to get in there, but I have just nipped it up that little bit. It was a tiny bit loose. So that is now nipped up, and yeah, stopped leaking now as well. So hopefully we can now run it up and there'll be no more issues. I'm just in the process of refitting the alternator because I felt sorry for the battery. I think it was hunting a little bit because probably only got 11 and a bit volts, that battery. So I'm just refitting it. And a little tip, so what happens is when you put your alternator in and you put your bolts in, what happens is it pulls this little, see the rusty like insert, it pulls that into the block, and that's how it tightens up. Now it's probably going to be a bit tight to try and squeeze back on, so what you can do is just loosely screw maybe 3 or 4 threads down, and then just, I won't do it because it'd be pretty shaky, but I'm going to now hammer the bolt just so it pushes the insert back a little bit, and it will make it a lot easier to get on. Right, so that's alternator all in. Another tip actually, when you bang them pins back, do it when the alternator's out the car, not in the car. Does make it easier. So yeah, auxiliary belt back on, tensioner, alternator all plugged in, so the battery should be a bit happier. And also there should be no leaks. So let's just have another go, start it up. There we go, already running a little bit happier. So I'm going to leave it running now for 5–10 minutes, double check, make sure there's no more leaks, and then we'll stick some coolant in, do some finishing touches, and yeah, put the whole thing then fully back together. Right, I've had it running now for 5 or 6 minutes, enough to notice that currently we have no water leaking, which is good. Engine sounds good as well. Yeah, it's ticking over nicely. There is a few things I've still got to do. Charcoal canister, put more coolant in with antifreeze, just general bits and bobs tidying up like battery tray and stuff like that. But yeah, it does seem to be running okay. And I'll even give it a little rev. Sounds good. Well, I've managed to drive out the workshop and down the bottom to get rid of the steering angle light. There is an issue with the ABS pump. It says electrical malfunction circuit, so that's a whole different kettle of fish and very frustrating. But it seems to be okay. Give it a... Seems to be, sounds alright. Let's just go up. Seems quite smooth, gearbox is nice and smooth to be fair. Right, I've just done some, make sure there's no mould, oh we're good. Right, I've just done some checks, all level, water level, stuff like that. All seems to be okay. So, can't see a reason why we can't go for a little road test. So, engine sounds good. No oil pressure warning light coming on, so that's good. It is up to temp. I've been running it for about 10 minutes. She's all good. So I'm just gonna go easy. I almost feel like I've rushed putting it together. I don't know why, I just feel like there's something really obvious I'm missing. I think it's probably because I've worked on this over quite an extended period, so everything's not fresh in my mind about it. I think that's just what it is. It seems to be seems smooth. Got no misfiring, no smoke. Sounds quiet. Got a car behind me. No, there you go. Just had a boost hose come off. Did you hear that? Luckily, I'm going right past where I was. That is why I didn't go too far. Oh. It's also just cut out. I might cut out because of the boost pipe. Depends where the boost pipes come from. Not a good sign, is it? It's just died again. Bit weird. Roller back in the workshop. Why has it died again? Yeah, it's that exact one I said it would be. Look, the one down. I don't know if you won't be able to see it, but it's the one that goes into the turbo from the intercooler anyway. And yeah, that's popped off. I told you I wasn't convinced by that from when I removed it. I had to hammer it off, and it's just, yeah, I wasn't fully convinced. That's probably why it's stalling as well, because it's getting too much air. So yeah, I suppose get it back on the ramp and see if I can get it back in again. There we go, look, you can see it better there. There we go, look, just come out at the bottom. So I need to, you can see where I've got all the hammer marks where I've tried to get it out. So I'm going to try and push it back in, and obviously didn't seat it in far enough. So, yeah, I'll give it another go. Right. Boost hose back in. I've just let it idle in the workshop. And I've just cleared the overboost fault, because I had a overboost fault because obviously the hose popped off. So I'm hoping now we should be good and it won't break down. Obviously I'm not going to redline it because freshly rebuilt cylinder head, obviously a new turbo as well, so I don't want to redline it. I'll probably take it 4.5k revs maybe, just so we've got enough just to test all the boost and it's all boosting okay. But it seems to be driving quite nice. I'm just going to do that same little third gear pull now, just, but it's driving nice, it's nice and smooth. Right, let's go again. Nice. It's gone into limp mode again. So there's obviously an issue with an overboost, so either the actuator turbo needs setting up correctly, or maybe I've got a split DV valve, I don't know. Yeah, so I've got an overboost fault code. I think my N75 is okay, but as you can see, specified should only be 350 millibar, and it's not really changing from atmospheric pressure, even when you rev it as well. So I've had it back up in the air and I found the problem, and it's quite a frustrating one. It looks like my boost pressure control valve, which is this black, oh, I can put the torch there. Right, let's just get up in there. Here, look, as you can see, look, I've got some little hoses coming off it from the vacuum. And if you can see, it's loose. And that is because, if I can just turn it around, and probably not show you, but there you go, look, if you saw that, it snapped inside itself, and basically it should be attached here, like that, and it's snapped off, the little plastic lugger snapped off, and yeah, it's useless. So, annoyingly, I'm going to need a new boost pressure control valve. So, frustratingly, that is going to be the end of today's video. So I was going to end the video there, but it just didn't sit right with me finishing the Mk5 GTI on a bad note with it not fully done. I know the ABS is a fault that is ongoing, but that doesn't, it's not why the car was broken in the first place. So I'm okay with that. I can fix that after this video, but it's the engine, getting the engine running, and the whole reason I bought it is what I want to finish the video on, with it actually working. So that is why this video has been delayed a few days, and I have now got pressure sensor. So here's the one that was broke, and you can see the tab that's broken here, look. And there we go. That was what was broken. Now this is actually going to be quite interesting. So this is obviously a genuine part, this boost pressure sensor here, with the Audi Volkswagen stamp, part number on it, and it doesn't say does it say the date? No, I can't see one. But obviously this is an aftermarket Pierberg one, which I believe is the standard. Yeah, look, so the standard one's a Pierberg 2. But if I just put this down, if I were to remove this sticker here, it has the Volkswagen part number on it. Look, 06F906283F. So what an absolute con that is. So it's the actual part. It's even got the Volkswagen part number on it. And half the price of going to Audi or Volkswagen. So it's a bit fiddly getting that out. There's 3 little pipes coming off it. So I'm going to fit that now. I'm going to go on one final road test, and fingers crossed, the engine will then be absolutely fine. I really hope it's alright this time, because I can't delay the video anymore. It's already up to temperature, to be fair, so. Good indication. Oh, honestly, it does my head in. How hard is it just to indicate when you're turning right? BMW drivers, honestly. That's coming from an Audi driver. Right. So you don't want to go red line, but nah, we're good. There we go, look, we're good. The car's fine. Drives nicer now. That actually drove really nice, that was really smooth. So now, the only issue I've got, last bit of boost actually. Yeah, it's fine. It actually drives really smooth and nice. So the only issue this car's now got is that ABS light, which was a bit weird because the ABS pump on it looks fairly new, so might have to, I'll look into it, but I'm not going to do another video on the car. So if you want to find out what happened with the ABS issue, then follow me on Instagram at saving_salvage, and I will just put it on there. I might in a future random video just say, oh yeah, by the way, this is what the problem was with the Golf GTI, but I'm not going to do another video on it. So that is the Golf GTI done, guys. Engine is sweet, drives absolutely fine. So I do hope you did enjoy this series. The next one will be on the TVR, and then after that, we are on the BMW. So, as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.